I was floating in the air. Soon I realized that I had jumped off from a footbridge. Neither could I remember the reason, nor my entire life until a second before. But I thought, well, that's okay. With making a cracking sound, my legs touched the concrete ground. I knew it must have broken my bones, but there was no pain. So I started running toward the destination undecided. Not so far ahead, I found a white BMW parked along the side of the street, so I jumped right in. I wasn't particularly looking for a car, but its engine was on and the driver was out, which seemed to me as if it was waiting for me to get on. Although a guy with a suit, who I assumed a driver, was sitting relaxed on the guardrail and talking with someone while facing me his back, the other was watching me the whole time, which allowed him to notice instantly what I was doing. His smiling face back when he was chatting, altered in a blink of an eye and he pointed straight at me. But at that moment, I was already pushing the gas pedal to the full throttle, so the funny faces of those two people looked confused quickly disappeared from the side window. Instead, I saw the views of the buildings passing aggressively, and because my eyes were glued to it, I was stepping on the gas pedal without looking at the front window at all, which I probably should have looking at. My car seemed to hit many different things along the way which shook my body pretty hard and that was quite unpleasant, but when it comes to the sound of the screaming voice heard outside, wow, I can't even tell. I even thought of jumping out of the car and helping those people who must have been suffering for whatever about the world, but I changed my mind. I didn't really care. Actually, my mind was brightened and started to become excited. I was no longer feeling people's pain or even the shaking of my own body, all because I found something I truly love inside the front window. I quickly rolled the steering wheel and progressed toward it. What became bigger and bigger in the front window was a restaurant. French, Italian, whatever, it was one of those fancy restaurants. I loved such places. Many adults were standing and laughing with a cup in their hands, looking excited, doing hand gestures with the other hand, and it made me laugh a bit when I imagined that everyone's liquid inside the cup dances at the exact same time when someone makes a joke. This boosted my love so much which forced me to push the gas pedal even deeper and to crash straight into the restaurant. Countless sound of crashes and pops layered over the sound of people scream, and the car was filled with crazy shake and crazy sound. Scream, again. And this time there are even more of them. I really can't go over this, I thought. Especially the ones from women squeezed my heart. I wished, in order not to hear that sound ever again, the world to become more peaceful. However, that was something I thought without thinking much, so it wasn't that important. Way more important than that, the fragrance inside the restaurant was quite fantastic. Italian. It smelled as if it could make me forget everything that's sad. Probably because of that, I felt like going to the bathroom. Not that I had to pee, but I wanted to start the side step exercise between males and females bathroom. But I couldn't find out where the bathroom was, so I changed my mind. Even while I was thinking such thing, my foot was kept pressing the gas pedal, but the car wouldn't move due to the tires not touching the ground. Therefore, I had no choice other than to get out, so I got out. I got out and decided to see the car I was just driving. I had completely forgot how it looked. Because I couldn't remember how on earth I got such luxurious car, I was stunned in astonishment. It was white BMW. However, having that it was damaged pretty badly, it seemed more accurate to call it as a garbage. The front engine part was destroyed and the entire body was dented that it was even harder to find a flat surface. And most importantly, there were red spots made of liquid found all over the car. It must be the wine that were in this restaurant, I thought. So I stuck my tongue out and licked it. But it didn't taste right. Although it was my first time to drink a wine, is this really it? Once again, I licked it as to confirm. I got it, I said to myself. My suspicion changed into perfect confidence. No, this is wine. It tastes like grapes and it also tastes like grapes. I drank wine for the first time ever, which meant I got closer to becoming an adult. I got really excited about that, which haunted me to do skipping to go outside the restaurant, but I couldn't, because of all the adults lying on the floor. What are they doing? I thought of asking them directly, but I changed my mind. So it took me quite a long time to get out, you know, because I had to stand in tiptoes and walk carefully while searching for the spots to land, cause you know it is disrespectful to step on a human body, right? Therefore, the air outside I finally inhaled was super refreshing. I didn't know what month it was at that moment, but it felt like perfect summer or perfect winter. Anyway, the pleasure gave me shivers that even felt like passing out if I don't express the sensation, so I looked around to find the painting materials or a pencil to write a poem, but all I found was debris of the party and the boring view of the buildings. What the fudge? I shouted to myself. Due to not being able to gush out the excitement, unconsciously, I was stomping on the ground like a little kid. Continuously, my legs hit the hard ground and it gave my whole body an uncomfortable vibration. It was that moment when the idea flashed into my mind. Let's dance. I still have this fine body, don't I? I shouted to myself again. I've never learned how to dance, but it doesn't matter. I will run as fast as I can, and that's my dance. It wasn't a compromise. It was my dance that I actively chose. I could have done any kinds of dance if I wanted. Ballet, break dance, whatever. But now, progress. You can surely call it a dance, right? Yet, I felt boring just to run, so I decided to start from the crouching pose. Set my body to the right position, get set, go. I knew that wind would force my forehead to appear along with my so-so looking face, so in order not to show them clearly to the people around, I pulled my chin just a bit. However, something unbelievably hard hit my forehead, so for a second I didn't know what on earth had happened. When I opened my eyes, the world was tilted by 90 degrees. I had fallen down. It took me a while to recognize that. What's wrong with me? Did I go insane? Me? No, never. I talked with myself. Anyway, let's try again. This time I won't miss, I thought, but for some reason my legs wouldn't move. I looked down, then realized both of my legs are gone. I saw tons of blood gushing out from the circular shaped cut-off section. I suspected that the legs, broken because of me jumping off the footbridge, came to its limit to hold on to my body. I got the situation. Having had such circumstance, I had no choice than to walk with my shortened legs. By swinging my arm rhythmically, I could make some progress. But it made me tired so fast. Aren't there any idea? I had to think for a moment. I should better relax in the situation like this, so that I can come up with a good idea. I thought to myself, and so I lay on the ground spreading both arms widely. Then, I saw the sky. It wasn't like what people imagine as the sky above the city. Quite the contrary, it was covered with transparent blue. The moment when I almost fell asleep by its comfort, I saw a bird passing by my sight, giving its full effort to swing its arms to make the progress toward the destination I don't know. Its legs were glued to the body shamefully without giving any help to the bird. I shouted toward the empty sky. Sky after the bird had already passed. Stupid. Yeah, you're right. Isn't it stupid to use legs to walk while having these nice and strong arms? I got up, grabbed the ground, straightened my arms while rolling my body forward. I stood on my hands. My sight, upside down, were close to the surface of the world. I could clearly see the progress that I made when I walked with my shortened legs, because of all the blood that covered the ground. Is that a restaurant? I said to myself, looking at what's beyond the wet ground. Its walls were fully gone, and there was a car stuck inside, and countless people were lying everywhere. Were there some sort of accidents? I don't know, but it looks pretty bad, so I better leave and move to somewhere safe. Okay, let's go, I thought, and started walking on my hands. It was that moment when I got pretty used to walking upside down. With making a dirty sound, I bursted into laughter. Because it was necessary to put quite an effort to keep the balance, it was not an appropriate timing to joke around, but the wave of laughter just kept coming and coming, so I had no choice than to laugh awkwardly just with my face. I had always wanted to walk like this. I just remembered that I had such dream come true, I thought, but what do I do now? I didn't feel like standing on my hands any longer, so I lay on the ground once again. I thought I'd see the sky like I saw before, but against my expectation, nothing was there.